It's been a while since I made a Svelte video, so why not jump into something we all need to do? State management. Since we could easily be talking about state management for over 10 videos, I'll be focusing on this first one on teaching you about local component state. It is necessary to start this way, especially if you come over from the React ecosystem. If you've been creating custom hooks or using complex state solutions like the Context API or Redux, throw all of this out of the window and embrace the simplicity and beauty of Svelte state management. A great example to see it in action is a form state. Imagine a form with three fields like email, age, and gender identification. In React, you would probably create three use states and destructure a getter and a setter for each. You would also create handlers for each element, and why not an onSubmit function for the form? Maybe you could also be tempted to send this to a context in order to keep a centralized state. Now let's see it in Svelte. We'll use a simple reactive variable and bindings. At their core, reactive variables are simply variables that will trigger a re-render in Svelte. You can simply reassign the variable a new value, and if you are using this variable in your component, it will automatically update in the UI. Another neat thing you can do with them is use them inside a reactivity statement. These are declared using the $ symbol followed by a colon. The code will rerun every time one of the reactive variable it uses is updated. Neat, right? Now let's see it in action. You could totally have a similar component structure as in React. You could create change handlers, a for submission handler, but instead, we'll create a two-way data binding from our form to reactive variables. If you come over from the Angular world, you might be in fear when you hear two-way data bindings, but fear not. Svelte executes all of this with such a beauty that you won't even notice code is being executed. For example, here we want to bind the gender to a select. We'll create ourselves a reactive variable called gender, and we'll have three options: male, female, and other. I'll add a simple reactive statement, logging the value of gender every time something is updated. And lastly, I'll pass my reactive variable in the value field of the select, which is really similar to React. Now comes the magic part. Simply bind the value to the variable on it and it will automatically update. Here, when I change the option, I trigger my console logs because the value is being updated and it is consumed inside a reactive code block. And this is basically how you worked with local state in Svelte. Let's recap a little bit. Stay as much as you can close to your component. Don't overthink state management. Reactive variables can be changed, and this will trigger an update in the DOM. No need for getters and setters like in use states of React. You can execute code when a reactive variable changes simply by creating a reactive statement. And lastly, use bindings to listen to changes in an input and have them reflected in a variable. I hope this was useful, and we'll begin exploring the other intricacies of Svelte state management. Next up will be Svelte stores. Please subscribe to the channel for this next video.